Hello everyone, welcome back to the day 13th session. So actually there are certain issues going on related to the power supply. So I thought to provide this class by recording mode to avoid uh, unwanted interruptions. So we always start our class with a very positive quote. So today's quote is difficult road often leads to a beautiful destination. And this is a very practical and a very important quote. Whenever you start a journey, you always face certain difficulties, so many hurdles, and you stop right there. But if you are a person who continues even after facing so many hurdles, so many obstructions, then you will reach to a very, very beautiful destination and it will be a really a very satisfying feeling. So what you can learn from this quote is to continue moving on, whatever may be hurdle, try to face it on, and then what will come at the end will make you the happiest. So with this quote, let's start today's session. And I will be providing one more mock test related to the first part. So mic is unmute. I'm sharing the screen. Everything is perfect. Okay. So before starting, um, I have already provided you the mock test one, which is related to part A. So I have provided you part A 100 questions and I will share the solution shortly. So I hope you all have attempted it honestly and you have scored like more than 70% in it. So the questions were from different sections like aptitude, reasoning, the elementary mathematics, comprehension, English, Hindi, both, current affairs, general knowledge, basic science. So it was a mixture of all of the uh, common discipline which they will ask you in part A. So I hope that paper was a very balanced one and a very, very important one if you are targeting this examination. So I told you that you have to score like more than 70% so that you will confirm your selection in this round one. Because in the subjective part, you will by default score 60 to 70%. I can say this if your subjective part is very strong. So with this one, let's start solving some questions for part A. So from research methodology, this question is there. A diagnostic test has a sensitivity of 95% and a specificity of 90%. In a population where disease prevalence falls from 20 to 2%, which parameter will change more substantially? So, there are certain things given in the question. A diagnostic test which has a sensitivity of 95% and a specificity of 90%. Right. So if the disease prevalence falls from 20 to 2, it means very much decreased. So which parameter will change more substantially? Sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, negative predictive value. So this is a conceptual question. The question is twisted, in which the figures are given. So if this question was asked that if prevalence prevalence will decrease, what will decrease? So we know that if prevalence will decrease, any disease के chances ही कम होंगे, so positive आने के भी chances कम होंगे, so positive predictive value will also decrease. So this type of question is asked in the form of data, some type of figures they have given. So what will decrease? Positive predictive value will be decreased as the total prevalence decreased. So again, this becomes very important because this question is asked with so many figures. Now biostatistic. So a researcher performs 20 independent hypothesis tests at alpha 0.05 without adjustment. What is the approximate probability of obtaining at least one false positive result, assuming null hypotheses are actually true? So how you will calculate this and how to do the calculation. So a researcher performs 20 independent hypothesis tests. So he or she has done 20 experiments. ठीक है, independent hypothesis testing उसने किया है at alpha 0.05. without adjustment. So what is the approximate probability of obtaining at least one false positive result? One false positive, how do we calculate? So probability of no false positive we calculate by 1 minus alpha. So 1 minus alpha, or to the power how much time you are repeating the experiment, how much time you are doing the experiment. So how many times actually? So 1 minus 0.05 because alpha is given in the question itself, and then 20 because you have done 20 independent testing. So it will be around 0.95 to the power 20, which is equal to 0.358. So probability of what? At least one false positive. It means one false positive, more than one or equal to one false positive is equals to 1 minus this one. So it is roughly around 64.2%. So this is how you can calculate, and this is possible that they can also ask you in biostatistic this type of question, which is not so difficult. Only you have to remember 1 minus alpha to the power n. N is number of times you have done the experiment. Now bioethics. So bioethics is what? The most important principle which you have to by default follow while conducting a research. So a participant enrolled in a clinical study withdraws consent after biological specimen have already been anonymized and incorporated into pooled analysis. Which statement is most appropriate? So this is again an important question. In the question, let me make this question clear for all of you. A participant enrolled in a clinical study. Suppose Ram is one participant who has been enrolled in a clinical study and who withdraw his consent after biological specimens have already been anonymized and incorporated into pooled analysis. Suppose you are doing an analysis of 50 patients. So you have also in that 50, like n equal to 15. So in those 50, you also have a specimen of Ram, which has now been anonymized. मतलब उसको आपने anonymize कर दिया है. So which statement will be most appropriate? So I think question clear हो गया है. All data must always be destroyed immediately. Is it so? Why we have to destroy all the data? Even if one person withdraws his consent, so then also 49 will remain as it is. So we don't need to erase all the data. Anonymized data can never be linked back to the participant and may generally remain in the analysis. So this is the right answer. As we have already anonymized the data, so anonymized data can never be linked back to the participant. दिस इज द केस, मतलब आपने उसको राम का जो सैंपल था वो अनोनिमाइज करने के बाद में यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रेक्टिफाई कि इनमें से कौन सा सैंपल राम का था. ठीक है, अनोनिमाइज करके ही उसको एनालिसिस किया जाता है. सो आप उसका एनालिसिस कर सकते हो. ठीक है, द इन्वेस्टिगेटर कैन रिक्रिएट द पार्टिसिपेंट आइडेंटिटी यूजिंग द स्टडी. नहीं, एनोनिमाइज के बाद ये पॉसिबल नहीं है. Withdrawal automatically invalidate the entire study. This is also not the case because we only provide this right to the patient in the informed consent that at any point of time they can withdraw their consent if they are not willing to do so. So this is the right answer. A very important and a very beautiful question. Through this question, you will be able to know the exact concept. Okay. So I keep on checking this because as nobody is there, so I always check this that whether the mic is proper or not. I'm sharing the screen on mute. Okay. So these three questions are most important. Now next one. Next question. A laboratory reagent consumption increased by 20% in the first month, decreased by 20% in the second month, and increased by 25% in the third month. It means first case is increment by 20%. Second is decrease in the consumption by 20%. Third is increase by 25% in the third. Compared with the original consumption, the final consumption will. So you have to calculate. As I told you, you have to assume the initial number be 100 so that this will simplify your overall calculation. So assume that initial consumption for, let's say, any of the laboratory reagent, that 100 you are using. So after 20% increment, it will become 120. After like 20% increment, it will become 96. And then after 25% increment, it will become 120. So the final consumption, 120% of the original means 20% net increase. So the answer will be B. Sorry, C. This will be C, right? 120%. So 20% net increase. Okay. Basic science related question. A mutation changes a codon from UGG to UGA. What is the most likely consequence? Conservative missense mutation, nonsense mutation causing premature termination, silent mutation, frameshift mutation. Uh, sorry. A mutation changes a codon from UGG to UGA. Okay. So UGA, which is a not less than a stop codon, which is a stop codon. So UGG codes for tryptophan, whereas UGA codes for stop codon. So this type of mutation where a coding changes into the stop codon is known as nonsense mutation, which may cause premature termination of the growing polypeptide. Right? So the right answer is nonsense. Now, one more question, which is important. So, a researcher reports a statistically significant difference with p is equals to 0.03 and concludes that the observed effect must therefore be clinically important. Which criticism is most appropriate? It means a researcher reports a statistical significant difference with p is equals to 0.03. It means 97% confidence interval and concludes that the observed effect must therefore be clinically important. So which criticism is most appropriate? A p-value directly measures the clinical importance. Statistical significance does not necessarily imply ये बात हमेशा मैंने बोली है कि अगर आपका डेटा statistically significant भी है, so it is not necessary that your data will also be clinically significant, right? So this is the answer. So these were the 5 top questions that will clear your concept of part A. Now we will move on to the second mock test, which I will be providing for you. So now you can imagine the type of preparedness by solving these questions. Okay, so in this, I have kept the answer and explanation together so as to quickly provide the things for all of you. Just a second. Current affairs and general awareness related. So this will be your mock test 2. I have already provided the set 1. So it means you have now 200 questions. So not just only 200. In the regular classes, I have provided a lot of questions to you. I am just talking about the mock test. So this is the second mock test in which I have provided you the 100 more questions related to what? Related to the aptitude. So it is related to current affairs and general awareness. The first question, which principle best explains why antimicrobial resistance is considered a One Health issue? So why AMR is the biggest concern for the clinicians and for the researchers? Because nowadays, even the last resort antibiotics are ineffective. Okay? Ineffective in most of these strains. So how to tackle those? How to what should be the approach for the clinically ill patients? Because we now need a guided therapy, right? So why we think that One Health के लिए antimicrobial resistance is one of the most important thing. Antibiotics are used only in hospital? No. Resistant organism and resistance gene can circulate among human, animal, food system and the environment because they all are related to each other. So this will be the right answer. One Health approach is related to environment, human and animal because we know that there are so many zoonotic diseases which transmit through animals. So we also have to take care of this one. AMR is caused exclusively by human genetics. This is also false. Resistance develop only after prolonged hospitalization. This is also wrong statement. So current affairs, I have told you that only exclusively are the extreme words. So don't choose that words because those are like the chances of having incorrect is more if you are having like extreme word. So this was one most important and बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था ये जो आपको पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है. ठीक है, आप सब ठीक है, मैं बार-बार नहीं देखूंगी. In climate science, the term climate resilience most appropriately refers to preventing all future climate variation, ability of system and communities to anticipate, absorb, and recover from climate-related impacts, eliminating greenhouse gases immediately, increasing dependence on fossil fuel. So climate resilience क्या होता है? Climate resilience means our capacity to withstand like the most weird, the most unfavorable condition, right? So in terms of climate resilience means ability of a system and community to anticipate, absorb, and recover from climate related impact. Okay, climate resilience means if you're talking about a geographical location, that is climate resilience means whatever be the natural calamity, that location is capable of like reverting all of those damage happened due to some natural calamity. All of those recovery can be done in the climate related impact. So resilience is the capacity to withstand, adapt, and recover from the climate related hazard while maintaining essential function. So this is the important question. This type of question may come in your exam. Which statement must accurately distinguishes mitigation from adaptation in climate policy? Mitigation addresses impact, adaptation addresses emission. Mitigation reduces cause of climate change, adaptation reduces vulnerability. So the question is related to mitigation from adaptation. ठीक है, mitigation from adaptation in climate policy. So कौन सा स्टेटमेंट ज्यादा एक्यूरेट है जो डिस्टिंग्विश कर रहा है मिटिगेशन फ्रॉम एडेप्टेशन इन क्लाइमेट? तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए? एडेप्टेशन इज रेलेवेंट ओनली है तो ये गलत होगा. बोथ टर्म मीन एग्जैक्टली द सेम थिंग. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि दोनों ही टर्म का एक ही मतलब हो? नो, दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सो मिटिगेशन रिड्यूसेस कॉज ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, एडेप्टेशन रिड्यूसेस वल्नरेबिलिटी टू इट्स इफेक्ट. ये तो इंग्लिश के टर्म का ही क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है, यानी कि इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रीहेंशन का ये क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है, आपको लग रहा है कि ये साइंस बेस्ड है बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स एवरीथिंग विल बी रिलेटेड टू साइंस बिकॉज यू आर अ साइंस कैंडिडेट. सो इंग्लिश का कॉम्प्रीहेंशन का मिटिगेशन मतलब हमें चीजें को कम करना. ठीक है, टू डिक्रीज, टू प्रिवेंट. अडेप्टेशन मतलब अब हम अगर एक्सपोज हो ही रहे हैं तो ऐसा क्या कर सकते हैं कि उसका वल्नरेबिलिटी, उसका फ्रीक्वेंसी कम कर सके अगर हम लोग उससे इन्फ्लुएंस भी हो रहे हैं तो इसलिए राइट आंसर हो जाएगा ये वाला. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. A country reports increasing GDP but declining real purchasing power of its citizen. Which factor could most directly explain the apparent contradiction? It means a country is reporting increasing GDP but declining real purchasing power of its citizen. So which factor could most directly explain this? Deflation, inflation exceeding income growth, increased savings alone, lower nominal wages with zero inflation. So inflation exceeding the income growth. So GDP growth does not automatically mean improved purchasing power. It means you have to remember this. If a country's GDP is high, it doesn't mean that ki purchasing power will also be high. If price rise faster than income, real purchasing power can decline. मतलब GDP बढ़ रहा है, GDP तो बढ़ते जा रहा है, मतलब प्राइस इतना फास्ट है बट इनकम कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. So how you will be able to like do so? कैसे परचेजिंग होगा? सो राइट आंसर है इन्फ्लेशन एक्सीडिंग इनकम ग्रोथ. इतनी महंगाई बढ़ गई कि लोग खरीद नहीं पा रहे हैं. सो आई कीप ऑन चेंजिंग पेन सो दैट यू विल नॉट बी कंफ्यूज्ड कि एक ही जैसे देखो यहाँ पे सब कुछ अलग अलग तरीके से मैं बता रही हूँ तो आपको थोड़ा समझ आएगा, नहीं तो सब हौच पौच लगता है. Which of the following is characteristic feature of a digital public infrastructure? Like you have to provide the characteristic feature of digital public infrastructure. It must always be privately owned. It provides foundational digital capabilities that can support multiple public and private services. It refers exclusively to social media platforms. It is limited to electronic payment system. So digital public infrastructure, which is abbreviated as DPI. So it must always be privately owned. must, so again exclusive word, तो ये नहीं हो सकता. It provides foundational digital capabilities that can support multiple public and private. Yes, this is the right answer. Next one, which statement about carbon neutrality is most accurate? कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी का मतलब क्या होता है? इट नेसेसरली मीन्स जीरो ग्रीन हाउस गैस. ऐसा पॉसिबल है क्या एकदम जीरो कर देना? नहीं, पॉसिबल नहीं है, तो ये भी आंसर पॉसिबल नहीं है. It generally involves balancing emitted greenhouse gases with removal or offset according to the defined accounting framework. जो threshold है उससे ज्यादा हम कोशिश करें कि ना emission हो हमारे जो भी सोर्सेस के थ्रू ये एमिट हो रहा है. इट मीन स्टॉपिंग ऑल. स्टॉप तो नहीं कर सकते हम. इट अप्लाइज ओनली टू कार्बन. नो, ये भी नहीं. तो इस तरह से देखो कितने इजीली आंसर आप निकाल पा रहे हैं. ठीक है. सो नेक्स्ट वन. A major advantage of early warning system for disaster is that they eliminate the hazard itself. Is it possible? This is not possible. Allow timely action to reduce exposure and potential. Yes, preparedness should be the answer. I told you that in the hospital we always have a like site readiness or preparedness thing report to ICMR that if any sudden outbreak happens in future, so what is the preparedness, how much we are like ready that we can accommodate itna patient for up to how much period, up to what extent. So this is known as preparedness. So if we're talking about disaster, our like government also prepared that if sudden thing happen at any of the location in our country, so what is the preparedness, how we can like reduce the exposure and losses. Which of the following is an example of circular economy thinking? Extract, use, dispose, maximizing single-use product, designing product for repair, reuse, and recycling, increasing landfill dependence. So which of the following is an example of circular economy thinking? So it is designing product for repair, reuse. 3R principle, you know that. So this is the answer, right? So next question. Next question with some new and sub pen use करेंगे. Interestingly पढ़ेंगे. pen भी रखना है. The term geopolitical de-risking generally refers to, this is actually good. Geopolitical de-risking generally refers to complete ending international trade, reducing excessive dependence on potentially vulnerable countries or supply chain. This is the answer. That de-risking means if you are like thoroughly dependent on any of the country for supply of any of the good, like so if that will stop providing us that good, so it we will be in a difficult position. So de-risking means reducing our excessive dependence. This is the reason you should be like not having this much dependence on anybody for anything. So this is one important question, right? This is one important question. Which technological development creates a major challenge for conventional notion of information authenticity? Mechanical clock, generative AI capable of producing synthetic text, images, audio and video, paper printing, optical microscope. So which technology developed create a major challenge for conventional notion of information authenticity? So this one is the थिंग. जनरेटिव एआई की वजह से इतनी सारी सिंथेटिक टेक्स्ट, इमेज, वीडियो, ऑडियो बनाया जा रहा है. सो इट इज वेरी हार्ड to believe that is it authentic or not. We these day on social media also facing this problem that whatever be the reel is about, we have a second thought that is it true, is it original or AI generated. Always in the comment section you can see that it is AI generated, it is this, it is not true, it is not original, it is not real. So they like generative AI creates highly convincing material which is like very difficult to believe that it is not real. So again, one important question I have provided you. Okay. Now, quantitative aptitude question. A number is first increased by 25% and then decreased by 20%. The final value will be You have to think that 100, अभी just एक slide में मैंने question बताया था, 100 मानो 25% increase होगा तो 125, और फिर 20% decrease हो गया तो you will be having again 100. So final value क्या हो जाएगा? Original के equal हो गया. So this type of question will definitely be there in your examination. So you have to be ready about it. Right. So don't forget to have this in your like practice series question. तो बहुत सिंपल है. 100% मतलब मान के चलो पहले नंबर 100 है, 25% इंक्रीज हुआ तो 125 हो गया. फिर 125 का क्या बोल रहा है? डिक्रीज बाय 20. तो 125 का 20% कितना होगा? तो 125 बाई 100 इंटू 25. ठीक है. तो 25 1 जा 25 4 जा. तो like this type of question may frequently come, and then sorry 25 नहीं 20 बोला है, so sorry 20. ठीक है. तो ये 20 है और ये 100 है, तो ये 5 हो जाएगा. ठीक है. सो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आपको एग्जामिनेशन में हमेशा पूछे जाते हैं. ठीक है. तो लाइक 25, इसका आंसर क्या आ जाएगा? 125 बाई 5, फिर से 25, यानी 25% फिर घट गया तो 25, 125 माइनस 25, फिर से 100 आ गया, यानी ओरिजिनल वैल्यू भी आ गई. तो क्या होगा? 100% ऑफ द ओरिजिनल. नाउ वी हैव टू चेंज द पेन. A person's salary is increased by 15%, followed by a further increase of 10%. The total percentage increases. So overall factor, you can calculate how 1.15, 1.10, so total will be 1.265. So therefore increase will be 26.5. ठीक है. So next one. This type of question is there, so I will not repeat it. This question. A train travel the first half of a journey at 40 km per hour and then second half at 60 km per hour. Average speed will be what? So average speed for equal distance, average speed is harmonic mean होता है 2ab upon a plus b. So here you will get 48 km. A sum of 8,000 on simple interest of itna in 4 years. The annual rate is, so SI is equals to simple interest is equals to PRT by 100. So if you are having like simple interest value given in the question, you have given the time, and you also have given the like what? A sum of 8,000, the principal. So 8,000 into R you have to calculate. Annual rate आपको calculate करना है R को. So keeping it in the formula, you will get R is equals to 6%. So simple interest and compound interest is important. ठीक है. Next one, ratio related question. The ratio of two numbers is 7:9. If 12 is added to each, 7:9 है, and then you are adding 12 in each of the number. The ratio becomes 9 by, after adding 12 to both, the ratio becomes 9:11. The smallest number is what? So you have to assume that the number is 7x and 9x. In the ratio, you have to assume likewise the first number be 7x and the second number be 9x. So 7x plus 12, 9x plus 12 is equals to 9 by 11. This is the scenario because you have added 12 in each of the number. So you have to add 7x plus 12, 9x plus 12 is equals to ratio 9/11. So 77x plus 132 is equals to 81x plus 1. इसको इधर ले जाओ. So yeah, इसको इधर ले जाओ. So it will be 24 is equals to 4x, x is equals to 6. So smaller means 7 into 6, 42. Smaller इसमें से 7 ही होगा. So 42 will be the smaller number. So this is also important and easy question for every examination. So this type of questions are like very, very important. Next one, work related. A work can be completed by A in 20 days. ठीक है. इसमें ध्यान से पढ़ना, ये A इंडिविजुअल का नहीं दिया है, नॉर्मल A है. A work can be completed by A in 20 days and B in 30 days. A is taking 20 days and B is taking 30 days. ठीक है. So if they work together for 6 days, A plus B for 6 days, the fraction of work remaining will be how much? So if they both are doing that work for 6 days together, so how much is the fraction of the work remaining after 6 days? So it means the work will not be completed in 6 days because they alone have taken 20 and 30 days respectively for A and B. So combined daily work means I have told you, you have to use the unitary method. You have to find out that how much work in each day is done by A and in each day by B. I have taught you this again and again, so that you can solve it by your own. So I have told you that in this work type of question, you have to find out that how much work is done by each of the person mentioned in the question. So कैसे निकालोगे A? एक दिन का 1/20 because he or she is completing the task in 20 days and B is taking 30 days. So 1/30. So combined daily work will 1/30 plus 1/30. 1/20 plus 1/30. So it will become 1/12. So 6 days is equals to half work completed. Okay. So remaining is equals to half. Therefore, the correct answer is C, not B. ठीक है, आंसर क्या आना चाहिए 1/2. इसमें B लिखा है. So this question was taken from one of the CSIR related. मतलब CSIR के किसी साल के पेपर से क्वेश्चन दिया गया है जहाँ पे वो ऑप्शन वो क्वेश्चन जो है वो ड्रॉप आउट हो गया था. Next one. So in this question, while I was copying that question from some paper, x का वैल्यू और ये सब नहीं दिया है, so let it be, इसको छोड़ दो. A population increased by 10% in the first year, decreased by 10% in the second year, compared the original population it is. So you should solve this by your own. I have taught you many times. Okay. So next question is related to average, mean. I have taught you so many times. So you will be solving by your own. Find the number series. So next number will be 3, 8, 15, 24, 35, 48. So what will be the number? So number कितना कैसे हो जा रहा है? 3 में 8 कैसे आया? 5 प्लस किया. 8 से 15 कैसे आया? 7 प्लस किया. फिर 15 से 24 कैसे आया? 9 प्लस किया. उसके बाद फिर 11 फिर 13 ऐसे करके तो अब कितना प्लस करना होगा? 15 प्लस करना होगा. तो 48 प्लस 15, 8 5 13 का 3, कैरी 1 4 5 6, 63. So answer should be 63. So this type of like question you can solve within 30 to 20 seconds. Find the missing term B, E, J, Q, Z. So in this type of question, I always told you to write the like ABCD quickly. ABCD, E, F, G कहीं ना कहीं तो लिख के रख ही लिया करो ताकि आपको इजी हो. तो जैसे B है, ठीक है. Now let me change the color. B and then the E यानी +2 है. उसके बाद E का क्या है? F, G, H, I, J. उसके बाद है +4. ठीक है. फिर K, L, M, N, O, P. तो J के बाद 1 2 3 4 5 6 +4 है. ठीक है. तो क्या होगा आप उसके बाद इस टाइप का आप ऐसे ABCD लिखोगे तो थोड़ा आपको आइडिया होता है. मतलब उसके बाद +6 हुआ है इधर. So what should be the answer? So alphabetical position जो है वो है 2, 5, 10, 17, 26. So differences are 3, 5, 7, 9. Next difference is equals to 11. So 26 plus 11 is equals to 37. So ये क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करके देखना कि क्या आंसर आ रहा है इस वाले लॉजिक से. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. If mother is coded as this, what is the coding principle? So mother लिख लो पहले. And code क्या हो रहा है? M को क्या बोल रहा है? O बोल रहा है. O को M बोल रहा है. यानी ये दोनों इंटरचेंज हुए हैं. फिर उसके बाद है O M, T को H बोल रहा है, H को T बोल रहा है, फिर R. अच्छा सब ये इजी सा है. इधर इधर एक एक प्लेस शिफ्ट हो रहा है. मतलब दो लेटर्स एक दूसरे को इंटरचेंज कर रहे हैं. इधर M की जगह हो गया, O की जगह M आ गया, T की जगह H आ गया, H की जगह T आ गया, E की जगह R आ गया, R की जगह E आ गया. So what should we reverse complete order? Exchange adjacent pair, shift every letter by 2, arrange. ये exchange adjacent pair किया है, ठीक है. So see, this is not always like कि mother is coded like this. So what will be the coding of this? ऐसे ही जरूरी तो नहीं है, पूछा जाएगा कैसे कोड किया गया, ये भी तो पूछ सकता है. So this is a very very new type of question. So you should also be prepared like this way. Adjacent pair को reverse किया गया है, ठीक है. So next question. So next question is like this one. ये आप खुद करोगे, ये आप खुद करोगे. This one, if P is taller than Q, Q is taller than R, and S is shorter than R, which is definitely tallest. यानी P is taller than Q. P taller है Q से, Q taller है R से, S shorter है किससे? R से. तो यानी कि R taller हुआ S से. So which is definitely टॉलेस्ट, सबसे टॉलेस्ट कौन है? तो ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है. यानी P टॉलेस्ट है Q से, Q टॉलेस्ट है R से, और R टॉलेस्ट है S से. यानी कि सबसे ज्यादा टॉल तो फिर कौन हो गया? P ही हो गया. सो P इज द टॉलेस्ट. फाइंड द ऑड वन आउट. 121, 144, 169, 196, 225. So what will be the odd one out? Try solving it out and let me know. So ये रो वाला क्वेश्चन और ये सेंटर टेबल वाला क्वेश्चन भी पूछा जाता है कि A जो है वो B के जस्ट एडजेसेंट बैठा है, और B और D के बीच में C बैठा है, और ऐसे ऐसे करके इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस. और ये वाला जो रो वाला क्वेश्चन है, दिस इज इंस्पायर्ड बाय CSIR. CSIR like used to ask this type of question. 5 person P, Q, R, S and T sit in a row. P, Q, R, S, T. If you are thinking like कि वो ऐसे बैठे होंगे, so this is not the case. They have given certain things. Fact. P, Q, R, S, T. Like 5 लोग थे, एक रो में बैठे हैं. P is left of Q. So make ऐसा P बनाओ, उसके left of P is left of Q. यानी कि Q कहाँ होगा? इधर होगा, ठीक है. तो ये लेफ्ट हो गया P. अब R is right of Q, तो R को इधर बना दो. S is between P and Q, यानी कि S इधर आ गया. T is right of R, T is right of R इधर आ गया. Who is at the extreme left? तो extreme left में कौन होगा? P होगा. This is very very easy. See, PSQRT. ये क्वेश्चन तो तुरंत, मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि मैं बहुत इसको प्रैक्टिस करके आई हूँ. ऑन द स्पॉट ही जब बनाती हूँ मैं क्वेश्चन, देखती हूँ अलग अलग, फिर ही मैं भी इसको सॉल्व करती हूँ. बट सी कि कितना अच्छे से इसको डिकोड किया हमने. ओनली यू हैव टू थिंक एज पर द क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. If all letters in the word administration are arranged alphabetically, which letter occurs most frequently? तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को हमें अरेंज करना है अल्फाबेटिकली. दिस इज अगेन एन इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन एंड अ न्यू टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. ऐसा मैंने नहीं देखा है पिछले कभी एग्जाम्स में. सो हम करते हैं A D, ठीक है. लाइक इफ ऑल लेटर्स इन द वर्ड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आर अरेंज अल्फाबेटिकली, तो अगर हम लोग इसमें क्या होगा? I कितने बार है? 1 2 3 टाइम्स I है, N भी 2 बार है, ठीक है. T भी 2 बार है, A भी 2 बार है. सो हाउ यू विल, सो फर्स्टली हम इसको करते हैं अरेंज ताकि इजीली हम डिकोड कर पाए. सो ये जो A D है, D के बाद क्या आना चाहिए? A B C D E तो नहीं है, F भी नहीं है, G भी नहीं है, H भी नहीं है, I है. सो I कितने बार है? 1 बार, 2 बार, 3 बार, ठीक है. उसके बाद J नहीं है, K नहीं है, L नहीं है, M 1 बार है, फिर N 2 बार है और A भी तो 2 बार है, तो A को यहाँ लिखो, ठीक है। फिर O है 1 बार, इसको मिला दो। तो N के बाद O कितने बार है? O है, P नहीं है, Q नहीं है, R 1 बार है, S 1 बार है, T 2 बार है। T लिखता हूँ चाहिए, T T, ठीक है। सो अब क्या बोल रहा है? विच लेटर अकर्स मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली। सो कौन सा लेटर बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली आ रहा है? आई टोल्ड यू, आई ही 3 बार है, ठीक है। तो इसको ऐसे लिखने की जरूरत मैंने क्यों बोला पड़ी है? लिखने की जरूरत इसलिए पड़ी है क्योंकि इसमें तो आपको दिख जा रहा है कि आई इज लाइक अपियरिंग 3 टाइम्स। सो यही अगर आप अल्फाबेटिकली अरेंज करोगे तो आई ही फ्रीक्वेंटली दिखेगा। बट अगर कुछ और पूछता हो तो आपको ऐसे लिखना ही पड़ता है अल्फाबेटिकली, ठीक है। सो दिस इज द रीजन आई हैव राइट दिस वन। कितना अच्छा क्वेश्चन था। A clock gains 5 minutes every hour. If it is set correctly at 8 a.m., what will it show at actual 8 p.m.? So a clock gains 5 minutes every hour. ठीक है. If it is set correctly at 8, what will it show at actually? मतलब अगर 8 बजे सुबह में मॉर्निंग में इसे सेट किया गया है करेक्ट, तो 8 बजे रात को ये कितना दिखाएगा? तो क्या दिखाएगा? 5-5 मिनट तो वो लेट दिखा रहा है, ठीक है। तो 8 से 8 यानी 12 आवर्स। सो 12 और 5 मिनट वो ले रहा है, 12:25। सो 60 मिनट, यानी एक्चुअल में 9 बज रहा होगा तब, ठीक है। वो 9 बजे दिखाएगा बट बज रहा होगा 8, राइट। सो अगेन बहुत अच्छा था क्वेश्चन। अब पैटर्न और इस पे क्वेश्चन। फाइंड द मिसिंग नंबर 2, 6, 3, 12। सो उसके बाद 425 ये। तो पैटर्न क्या है हमारे यहाँ पे? फाइंड द मिसिंग नंबर 2 6 है, 2 3 6, 3 4 12, 4 5 20। तो ये वाला क्या होगा? सो 6 12 20 एंड यहाँ पे क्या आना चाहिए? तो 6, यहाँ पे n+1 के पैटर्न से यहाँ आना चाहिए 40। फाइंड द नेक्स्ट टर्म। A Z C X E V G T. So first letter increase by 2. So here you can see A, B नहीं है, C के बाद D नहीं है, E के बाद F नहीं है, G, तो G के बाद H नहीं होगा, I होगा। So I का ऑप्शन 2 है, तो ये दोनों कट गया। उसके बाद Z X, मतलब जो सेकेंड लेटर है वो डिक्रीज हो रहा है, मतलब फर्स्ट इंक्रीज हो रहा है एक से और सेकेंड लेटर डिक्रीज हो रहा है उससे। तो क्या होगा? इट विल बी I R, ठीक है। ZXVTR. If 2 plus 3 is equals to 13 and 3 plus 4 is equals to 25, 4 plus 5 is equals to itna, then 5 plus 6 is equals to how much? So in this type of question, you have to like find, so pattern you have to see. So first का square है, second का square है, ठीक है। तो उसी तरह से आपको इसमें आंसर निकालना होगा। सो ट्राई टू सॉल्व दिस बाय योर ओन। मैथ्स रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन जैसे भी आप अपने ट्रिक से सॉल्व करना चाहें, यू कैन डू इट। सीरीज 1 2 6 24 120। सो व्हाट विल बी द नेक्स्ट वन? सो दीज आर factorials, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 4 5। therefore next 6 का factorial क्या होगा? 720। so answer will be 720। find the missing number 4 9 19 39 79 and next will be, so each term is equals to previous into 2 plus 1 के हिसाब से 159। now language, English language. Choose the grammatically correct sentence. Each of the samples were tested twice. Each of the sample was tested twice. Each samples was tested twice. Each of samples were tested twice. ठीक है। So grammatically correct sentence will be obviously this one. Each of these samples was tested twice, right? Because you are using each, so you will use was. Choose the correct sentence. Neither the principal investigator nor the technician was available. Neither the principal investigator nor the technicians were available. neither the principal investigator or the technician, all sentence will be sound similar, but you have to find out the grammar, कहाँ पे mistake हुई है. So whenever we are using neither, so neither nor, the verb should be like plural. So neither the principal investigator nor the technicians were available. This one, neither nor के साथ plural. Inadvertent most nearly means deliberate, accidental, repeated, unlawful. So it means accidental. Antonym of lucid. Lucid means clear and easy. So इसका opposite क्या होगा? Obscure. ठीक है? इसका opposite होगा obscure. Again you have to find ये same sentence वाली चीजें. ये spelling क्या होगा? Privilege का correct. So privilege का spelling correct है B वाला. The phrase a double-edged sword means something having only advantages, something having both beneficial and harmful consequences, something impossible to understand, something extremely dangerous in all circumstances. So double-edged sword का मतलब होता है something having both beneficial and harmful consequences. ठीक है? So next one. Choose the appropriate completion. Despite extensive investigation, the cause of the outbreak remained elusive. Elusive means difficult to find. Yani, we don't know what is the exact cause of the outbreak. So elusive. English comprehension is given. So try to solve these questions by your own. Hindi also you can solve by your own. I don't need to like repeat this. Basic science related question we can go on. Okay. So which enzyme unwinds the DNA double helix during replication? So this was done by helicase. Which molecule carry amino acid carry करने का काम करता है? Transfer RNA. ठीक है. Which blood group is considered the physical plasma donor in the ABO? So it is donor जो होता है वो O होता है, recipient जो होता है वो AB होता है. Just a minute. Plasma donor in the ABO system. So which blood group is considered the universal plasma donor in the ABO system? So the question is related to the universal plasma donor. So do you know the answer? Who is the universal plasma donor? So universal plasma donor blood group is AB. Okay? Because specifically type AB positive and AB negative. Unlike red blood cell donation, where type O is the universal donor, plasma compatibility is reversed because plasma contains antibodies. ठीक है? तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा? इसका आंसर होगा ABO सिस्टम का प्लाज्मा डोनर का this one. C. Group O plasma lacks anti-A and anti-B. So ये एक ट्रैप क्वेश्चन भी आपको दे सकता है. मतलब यूनिवर्सल डोनर वी नो दैट ओ होता है एंड रिसिपिएंट एबी होता है, बट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्लाज्मा डोनर, सो इट विल बी एबी. एंजाइम मॉडल क्वेश्चन आप कर सकते हो. राइबोसोम ही प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस कराता है. So all questions are like pretty much easy for you. Try to solve this type of question and see you in the next one.